You're watching Live Newsline on Vietnam Today. Great to have you. I'm Tom Chan.
I'm Khai Minh, and here are our top stories. In our headlines, Vietnam exports drive economic transformation against global instability.
United Nations rejects Iran sanctions relief proposal. 8 days left for negotiation.
Landmark High Seas Treaty ratified.
Following the provincial merger and the shift to a two-tier local government model, public investment disbursement remains uneven.
Precisely, Tao Chang, and while 22 localities are performing above the national average, 12 still lag behind, some at below 30%. With just over 3 months left in the year, many must push harder to meet the government's 100% target.
In Ninh Bình province, the Nam Định General Hospital project was allocated $20 million this year and has already disbursed 64% of the plan. Several facilities have been put into use, serving local healthcare needs.
Provincial leaders made it clear that failing this task would count as failing in performance evaluation. We have mobilized engineers and required contractors to dedicate maximum resources to keep the project on schedule.
This year, Ninh Bình was assigned $1.22 billion in capital and has already disbursed 86%, ranking third nationwide.
After the provincial merger, the Party Committee and People's Committee issued firm directives. Departments and agencies quickly stabilized operations, so the project implementation wasn't disrupted.
Meanwhile, in Cần Thơ City, despite an allocation of about $1.14 billion, just over 30% has been disbursed. With little time left, the city is scrambling to speed up projects and meet government targets.
Where land is available, we direct contractors and supervisors to increase shifts and work overtime to accelerate both construction and disbursement. We have set up task forces to tackle bottlenecks. Each month, officials are assigned to oversee specific investors and projects. We don't wait for all land clearance to be finished. Projects advance in phases as land becomes available.
With organizational restructuring completed, localities are now racing to push forward public investment projects. Backed by the political system, new initiatives and solutions are being rolled out to overcome difficulties, ensuring disbursement targets set by the government are met.
The Ministry of Construction has announced plans to expand the Eastern North-South Expressway through the Public-Private Partnership, or PPP model. So far, 10 domestic investors have submitted proposals to widen the route from 4 lanes to 6 or even 8 lanes. The ministry will work with investors already involved in 3 active component projects to design expansion plans. For sections funded by public investment, the ministry will coordinate with relevant agencies to prepare their conversion into the PPP model. Experts say this expressway is well positioned for the expansion, as most land clearance has already been completed for a 6-lane design. Currently operating at a maximum speed of 90 kilometers per hour, an upgrade to 120 with additional lanes is expected to boost socio-economic efficiency and address current 4-lane limitations.
Now, in the first 8 months of 2025, Vietnam's exports reached over $306 billion with a surplus of nearly $14 billion.
And these figures provide a solid foundation for a full-year growth. To achieve the target of more than 12% export growth, businesses and authorities are leveraging every advantage, from FTAs and market expansion to green and digital transformation. These efforts aim to strengthen resilience against global fluctuations.
High-quality longhans are carefully selected to meet Vietgap standards. Production has been upgraded here, shifting from coal and wood-fired drying to electric drying rooms. These are all solutions adopted to expand the market for dried longan, both domestically and for export.
The company's export volume accounts for a smaller share than domestic sales. Through the export department and the trade promotion agency, we hope to connect with distribution businesses in other markets around the world.
To reach global markets, e-commerce platforms are building professional international distribution channels. They are collaborating with the Ministry of Industry and Trade to develop strict criteria.
For exports, we are developing standards that include 18 criteria set by the Trade Promotion Agency. Any business that meets these criteria will automatically be considered eligible for export to the EU.
Instead of focusing solely on traditional markets, local producers are tapping into new markets with high potential. With 17 FTAs already signed, Vietnam now has access to a vast network of markets, reducing reliance on single destinations.
The Cambodian market has strong demand for essential consumer goods, an area where Vietnam holds significant strength and the capacity to supply. To seize this opportunity, the Trade Promotion Agency will organize a Vietnam trade fair.
With efforts from businesses and the support of authorities, the export growth target is more than just a number. It has driven Vietnam to integrate more deeply into global value chains, confidently building its position on the international trade map while standing firm against global uncertainties.
Among key products for exports, the seafood industry is also a major export earner, with export turnover exceeding $7 billion in the past 8 months, up more than 11% year-on-year. Now, recently, advanced processing technologies have enhanced the value, quality, and safety of products, from the already highest processing rate of any sector at 80%.
To meet the strict standards of premium export markets, this seafood company implements technologies that monitor soaking water, temperature, and salt levels to ensure optimal clam meat quality. The company invests in research and advanced technology to develop a modern processing system that satisfies market demands.
We use vacuum technology and automatic mixing processes to ensure our clam and seasoned meat products meet European and Japanese standards.
Vietnam's seafood industry comprises nearly 600 plants with an annual capacity of 2.8 million tons. Research and application of science in seafood processing and preservation have led to product diversification. Meanwhile, local authorities' support plays a crucial role in attracting business investment in technology.
The province supports certain enterprises' investments in higher technology. To ensure quality and added value, I believe all stages, from harvesting and services to processing, must be synchronized.
The industry also aims to develop modern, mechanized fishing technologies, encourage investment in high-tech solutions, and optimize production. Simultaneously, efforts are focused on strengthening marketing and exports, especially of high-value-added processed products.
Hanoi currently has around 900 supporting industry businesses, with over 320 meeting international production standards. These companies supply key manufacturing sectors, including automotive, motorcycle, and electronics. To modernize, Hanoi is focusing on attracting high-quality FDI projects and helping local companies expand into manufacturing complete products to increase order values.
Industry insiders agree that updating technology is crucial for Vietnamese businesses to become key parts suppliers for FDI enterprises.
We always allocate at least 5% of our revenue to research and invest in technology and product lines. By the end of this year, we have 6 orders waiting to be produced and shipped to Japan, and 2 orders under research for exports to the US.
Over 90% of supporting industry businesses in Vietnam are small and medium-sized, and while technology investments are significant, these companies hope to find partners or gain technology transfer through direct trade promotion programs.
We hope to find new customers within ASEAN and beyond, diversifying our markets and supply chain.
According to the Hanoi Supporting Industry Association, although localization rates have improved and dependency on imports is decreasing, businesses still face financial challenges and obstacles in project implementation.
We hope the government will soon enact a supporting industry law. We need clearer guidelines on laws and regulations so businesses can access land, financial, technological support, and connect with international partners.
The association also mentioned that the city plans to create more international technology park, combining training and connecting buyers and sellers in industrial zones to share technical infrastructure and reduce logistic costs for businesses, helping them focus on reinvestment and expansion.
Coming up next, UN rejects Iran's sanctions relief proposal.
And later on, landmark high seas treaty ratified.
Upon our world news coverage today, U.S.-China leaders talk. China inks Merkel deal. Nations back ocean treaty. And more. But first, Hao Chang has the latest updates on results of voting on a draft resolution on Iran.
Right. The United Nations Security Council on Thursday rejected a draft resolution that sought permanent lifting of sanctions in Iran. And that is despite the outcome, Iran and European countries still have 8 days to continue negotiations aimed at delaying the reactivation of United Nations sanctions. Earlier that day, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi announced that Iran has submitted a nuclear proposal to European countries intended to prevent the reactivation of sanctions under the current agreement. The Iranian president emphasized that implementing the proposal could resolve major issues and prevent a crisis, but noted that Iran could not only be the party responsible for its implementation. And last night, U.S. President Donald Trump held a phone call with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The call was described by the U.S. president as positive, paving the way for two leaders to meet in person in the near future. At the phone call, the two leaders discussed about trade, fentanyl, the need to bring the conflict in Ukraine to an end, and the approach of a TikTok deal. President Trump wrote on Truth Social that the call is a very good call, and we will be speaking again on the phone. It's appreciated by the TikTok approval, and both look forward to meeting at APEC. Meanwhile, United States media quoted from the Chinese newspaper report that President Xi told Trump the Chinese government respect corporate decisions and welcome business negotiations that follow market rules and produce solutions consistent with Chinese laws and balanced interests. Our correspondent Tai Tang has more. Right, so our correspondent from New York has more.
The two leaders agreed to meet in person in the sideline of the APEC summit will be held in South Korea next month. President Trump would visit China in early next year, and President Xi would likewise come to the United States at appropriate time. Tai Thanh, reporter, Vietnam Television in United States.
Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi and Moroccan counterpart Nasser Bourita signed a memorandum of understanding in Beijing on Friday to establish a strategic dialogue mechanism between their foreign ministries. The agreement aims to strengthen the strategic partnership formed in 2016. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi highlighted that Morocco was among the first Arab and African nations to establish diplomatic ties with China, noting that relations have maintained strong momentum under the both countries' leaderships. Morocco expressed interest in expanding collaboration in tourism, education, and culture, while also voicing support for President Xi Jinping's global governance initiative. Both sides exchanged views on regional issues, including the Middle East situation. And spectacular news for marine life protection. The world's first ocean treaty governing international waters was secured on Friday when Morocco became the 60th nation to ratify it. This landmark agreement provides the first legal framework to protect marine biodiversity in the high seas, which covers 2/3 of the oceans and nearly half of the Earth's surface. The treaty aims to address critical threats including overfishing, climate change, and deep-sea mining. However, its impact remains uncertain as major powers include the U.S. and China, Russia, and Japan have yet to ratify it. While the U.S. and China have signed the agreement, signaling support without binding obligations, Japan and Russia have only joined preparatory talks. The treaty establishes processes for creating marine protected areas, regulating activities like deep-sea mining and geoengineering, and developing frameworks for technology sharing, financing, and scientific cooperation. Russia has officially launched its first driverless metro line, marking a significant step forward in the country's adoption of smart transportation technology. The new Line 90, operating in the city's northwestern district, is the capital's first to incorporate artificial intelligence. The trains are equipped with cutting-edge sensors, radar systems, and cameras, allowing for fully autonomous navigation and real-time traffic response. Although the system is designed to run independently, a staff member will remain on board during the initial phase to monitor operations and intervene if necessary. City officials have announced plans to deploy more than 300 autonomous trains by 2030 as part of a broader strategy to modernize Moscow's public transportation network. And space exploration is taking its wing in Europe. European countries are boosting investment in their space industries. Northern nations like Sweden and Norway are at the forefront of Europe's drive towards a stronger orbital presence. Let's take a look at two of the continent's most promising space centers.
Dense forests and grazing reindeer. This rugged northern Swedish landscape is not only home to native species but also the site of a future space hub.
We're standing right now on the base area of S-Range, which is 4 square kilometers, which is fenced and guarded 24/7. But apart from that, we have a 5,200 square kilometer area stretching from here and north almost to the tip of Sweden, where Sweden, Norway, and Finland merged, so to say. And that area is totally uninhabited, and the only thing you're allowed to do is actually what we do. We launch rockets into the area.
For decades, Europe has relied on the United States for space security. But President Trump's America First policies, combined with the fast-growing commercial space market, have prompted Europe to rethink its strategy.
There's a need for a lot of more satellites being up in the air due to the fact that you need more and more data. Europe doesn't have a launch base which is in continental Europe. The only place that Europe launched from is from South America, from Kourou, the French base there. So now there's a lot of sites popping up or trying to come up. We have Norway, which has their base.
The Andøya spaceport in northern Norway is part of this push. In March, Isar Aerospace conducted the first test flight of its orbital rocket there. The vehicle fell into the sea just 30 seconds after liftoff, but the full launch was still deemed a success.
On the one side, to make it simple, you have a race towards the moon, which is something we've seen also in a different context in the 1960s. And on the other side, you see, and that is maybe the biggest change of recent times, space for security and defense. And this is certainly the context in which all European action has to be seen.
Established in the 1960s, S-Range and Andøya gained their advantage from their northern locations. Alongside Sweden and Norway, countries such as Portugal, Spain, Italy, Germany, and the United Kingdom are also vying for positions in Europe's.
And lastly, in our world news coverage for today, we turn to the power fueling Japan. Nearly 10 years ago, Japan was named the first country to adopt a national hydrogen strategy. The plan was revised in June 2023 with a focus on a carbon-neutral hydrogen society. From power generation and transportation to heating and industry, this master plan is expected to fuel important transformations.
Hydrogen fueling stations are considered critical infrastructure for advancing hydrogen-powered mobility, a cornerstone of Japan's carbon neutrality strategy. The basic hydrogen strategy, first introduced in 2017 and revised in 2023, firmly established hydrogen as a strategic fuel for the nation.
Japan aims to build more hydrogen refueling stations like this one. As of the end of last year, Japan had 161 public hydrogen refueling stations in operation. However, this number is only about half of the country's target, which is to have 320 stations by this year, 2025.
In the updated basic hydrogen strategy of 2023, Tokyo emphasized the need to sharply increase the number of fuel cell vehicles, FCVs, particularly commercial fleets such as trucks and buses. Pilot projects are also underway to test hydrogen fuel in rail, maritime, and bus transport. Japan has set a target of 800,000 hydrogen-powered vehicles on its roads by 2030.
The strength of hydrogen vehicles lies in fast refueling and a driving range of up to 700 kilometers, comparable to gasoline cars.
Another key challenge is that hydrogen infrastructure is still far from widespread. We are building station by station, but reducing construction costs remains a major hurdle. We fully recognize the role of infrastructure.
On the production side, Japan aims to secure 12 million tons of hydrogen per year by 2040 through both domestic output and imports. Public-private investments of around 15 trillion yen, over 100 billion USD, are planned by 2038 to develop supply chains, transmission systems, and storage. Crucially, the strategy highlights the need to cut hydrogen costs to ensure competitiveness. At present, Japan faces significant hurdles in scaling up hydrogen: high costs, technical and engineering challenges, the need for clean power sources to produce hydrogen, and the task of creating both domestic and international markets.
Coming up next, Hanoi Metro trials biometric system.
Artificial intelligence tools reshapes Vietnamese music. You're watching Newsline, and we come back with an update on digitalization of Hanoi infrastructure.
Sure. Starting Saturday, the Cát Linh-Hà Đông Metro line will officially begin piloting electronic identification, authentication, and biometric recognition for passengers. This program will operate across 12 stations with 65 ticket gates, utilizing chip-based ID cards for electronic verification and biometric authentication. Now, additional technologies being introduced include electronic tickets through the Hanoi Metro app, travel cards, and international visa payment cards. The trial period will continue until the end of September, after which the system will be refined and rolled out across all urban railway lines in Hanoi.
Moving to other news, Vietnamese pop and folk songs are being transformed into chamber, symphonic, and even rock metal versions.
Yeah, and it's happening across all social media platforms. And what makes these creations special is that they aren't professional studio productions, but works generated by AI tools that can shift music genres with just a few simple steps.
The chamber-style version of Love and Hate has garnered nearly 400,000 views, while its rock metal remake has reached 170,000. This AI remixing trend originated on a YouTube channel who used just a tablet, headphones, and AI apps. Their creative reimaginings of modern songs in various styles quickly gained popularity across Facebook and TikTok.
I was practicing violin and wondered why not create classical versions of modern songs. That's when I turned to AI tools and came up with what I call chamber pop. Even the name was inspired by ChatGPT.
With over 80,000 subscribers, their YouTube channel now earns revenue from both advertisements and custom commissions. What started as a simple hobby has become a source of revenue for the duo.
We now earn more from YouTube than from our main jobs, with additional revenue coming from fans and companies.
With just a few clicks, dozens of AI apps now allow anyone, even those without music theory knowledge, to compose and remix music.
Before, AI tools produced awkward tracks. But now they've improved a lot. The music sounds almost human.
While many artists have embraced this trend, significant risks remain. AI can generate convincing fake versions of singers performing songs they never recorded or create distorted content that misleads audiences.
Good quality is fine, but poor quality versions can seriously harm an artist's reputation.
The number of quality channels remains small. If too many low-quality products appear, they can affect audiences over time.
AI has evolved beyond being a mere support tool to become a driving force in music creation. However, its expanding influence also raises questions about rights, authenticity, and responsibility in the digital era.
And talking about music, we conclude our bulletin with updates of the V-Fest Vietnam Today concert organized by Vietnam Television. Thảo Trang, what do you have for us?
Well, following the success of the recent V concert, Radiant Vietnam, and V-Fest Vibrant Youth, the Grand Festival V-Fest Vietnam Today returns with a star-studded lineup. The festival promises to deliver exciting and memorable experiences this Saturday night at the Vietnam Exhibition Center. Let's take a look.
V-Fest Vietnam Today features beloved artists spanning generations and music genres, including Nu Phước Thịnh, Vũ Cát Tường, Phan Mạnh Quỳnh, Vũ, and Ryder. The festival will also showcase several international artists currently performing in Vietnam.
I'll perform a new song called Vietnam and a solo with 3 instruments. The stages in Vietnam are getting much bigger.
This is my first time bringing a new song to perform in Hanoi, and it's such a big event. I hope to create wonderful memories in Vietnam.
Artists will deliver world-class performances, including special collaborations premiering on the V-Fest stage. The lineup features more than 30 carefully curated songs selected for the audience.
This time at V-Fest, I'll share my newly released song. I really hope everyone will enjoy it.
It feels great to have everyone show up. It's been a long time since I returned to Hanoi. I hope we'll have great memories together.
On Saturday night, 20,000 spectators will immerse themselves in melodies that blend Vietnamese tradition with modern sounds. Vietnam Television has provided thousands of free tickets, making the festival a true celebration of music that breaks down barriers between performers and audience.
We will record and broadcast on VTV, and we hope to bring the excitement to a wide audience.
Along with the 2 other national concerts organized by VTV, V-Fest Vietnam Today has become one of the most anticipated music events of 2025.
And that's everything you need to know for now, under 30 minutes on Newsline.
Thank you for watching, and until next time.